How you doing, people? Random here. So tonight I have an Abbas 7240. It is a lockout tag-out lock, aluminum body. It's anodized and it's really smooth. It's got a stainless steel shackle on it. It's a short version, and inside is the American style core. Only difference is it's chrome and it is a tiny bit wider. So when you're using your 50,000 tension tool, it gets a little sloppy. So the reason I'm showing you this tonight is the bitting on this is, you can see that right there, it's pretty straight across. There's nothing really to it. Didn't come with the factory like this. The locksmith I bought this from actually buys the bodies separately from the cores, and he cored this up for me personally because he knew that I would mess around with it and play with it and key it up to whatever I wish to. So he would never send out a lock like that. So either way, works really good. I just like hearing that sound. So let's lock it back up and let's pick it. And I got some pins set up for you, and we'll repin it to something a little better. And I haven't had this one apart yet, so hopefully he's with such a, like, these pins are going to be really short inside there, especially when you get something really high, a really high cut. The pins will not have serrations on it. They can't get serrations on something that small and at least make them effective. That's what we're looking for. So we know we know all the bottoms are going to be standard. We'd be lucky to have one that's that's serrated. There's a little clicky in here, so it's not lined up 100%. So it doesn't matter where you start from. I usually start at the front and then find the first thing that binds and just keep that in mind. Number one's sloppy, so it's number 2, and then number 3, and number 3. Okay, got nothing else. We'll pull back a little bit. There we are, and it is a spool. We're number 4, same thing. Yeah, it's a spool too. Number 5. Spool. I'll pull back in. We're going to check 2 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 2. Number 2, it's ready to go now. There. We'll check number 1, and it is ready to go. We know they're all high already, so there we are. We're open fairly easy. Nothing much to it. So let's pop her open. It is a Phillips, but I just use this little slot screwdriver, fits in there good. Or I can bring out the big Phillips. Okay. So let's push that off to the side. That's our existing key. We're not going to need that anymore after we're done. Now, what I usually like to do is lock this back up. I'll pull the C-clip off. Oh shit, I guess we'll need that key again. I shouldn't have put it so far away. So we want to turn this counterclockwise this time, so the end of the actuator will stop the pins from falling through this gap when you stick your follower through. Okay. Now, it is a 6-pin core, and it's only pinned for 5. The one thing I do notice right off the bat, the difference in this core is there's actually a flat machine top on here. It's not very big, but you can tell that it has been ground down. The reason for that, I'm not too sure. Yeah, so that's a standard. There's not much of these pins. They're so tiny. Hoping to stick something a little longer in that. And we know there's some spools in the top. It did feel like 5, but you never can tell. And they are standard spools with no serrations on them. They're fairly deep, which is nice. They're definitely an Abbas spool. Come on, there you are. They almost looked a little more domed on the top compared to the American ones. American ones are very, very flat. So they catch really nice, and that's what makes the Americans so much fun. Okay. not going to pull the springs out because we're going to use this Bible, but I can tell you it's got really long springs in here. Really long steel springs. So, we've already got another tray set up here. And actually, I'll show you those ones quickly before I get them too far away. You can get a good view on them. I can't really through my camera lens. Let's see if we can zoom in. There we go. So as you see, the bottoms are all standard. There's no serrations. The top, just regular spools, nice and deep. But we will. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin this up for 6-pin, because it is a 6-pin core. And the only thing we have to do, I'll show you what we're putting in here. We have to add a spring on number 6. Because, of course, there isn't one. I'm going to use a little shorter one, and that will just allow that last pin that's in the top of the Bible just to float on top of there. So it'll be a different tension when somebody's trying to pick it. So let's start populating. The first one I'm using is a standard pin and no serrations, and then the next 4 are serrated. And these are American pins out of the American, which one is, I think I've showed you this before, that pin kit right there. And it is the APK1, which if you're a tradesman, if you buy anything at any electrical supplier or plumbing supplier, usually they can, any HVAC, usually they carry most of the master lock. And I got mine at a local, my local electrical supplier. And it was a lot cheaper than ordering it online. I think I paid 25 bucks for mine. So I'll stick that 6 spring in there, which is a short little copper spring. Now, my follower, which is right here. Once again, stick that through on the right, correct side. Oops. Be careful when you stick that one in, because I almost just took out that spring. Now, on my top pins, I am using a mix between, oh, I got that the wrong way. Make sure I get that the right way. Standard and serrated. How I insert is I just get it in my tweezers, push the top down, and then slide my follower forward, jamming it in there. There you go. It doesn't take long to pop these. You get the right tweezers and you can get these back together pretty quick. This is a little easier because I am set up for it already. If not, it would make the video quite a bit longer as I pick through the correct pins for my pre-cut key. Now, I'm using a pre-cut, but I used my, if I can get a hold of this pin right here, this is the only one that doesn't have serrations on it. I'm not sure where this pin came from. It is different for sure than the Avis pins. It is also deep, but the top and the bottom of the pin are very flat. So there you go. Okay, so that's in, and before I stick this core in, I always make sure I take my pre-cut key, which I cut this out of using depth and space keys for the American, which are those ones right there. So I just picked the combination I like, chose the correct pin for it, and usually you can use a pin gauge, but I just drop my pins pin for pin. Sorry about the sound in the back, but it's a little cold up here in the Great White North tonight, so we got the furnace running. I am jamming out just a bit. I don't know why. There we are. We'll lock it up so we don't shove those pins out. I need the C-clip. There we go. A little crunchy at first. It goes one way better than the other, but it doesn't matter because it's only going in a padlock. So the padlock does not require. Let's get this out of the way since we don't need that anymore. And our padlock does not require it to return the opposite way. So don't lose that. Oh, damn it. What do you know, eh? I'm gonna drop something, eh? Let's put that back on. Okay. Stick our screw in. And once again, never lock the shackle back up till you try your key. Now you're just going to turn against the actuator. But you want to make sure it turns, because the worst thing is, which I have done it before and at least a couple times, is repin a padlock, click it like that, stick it in there, go to turn, it doesn't open, and you're stuck repicking it again. So that's our modified Abyss. A little upgraded key, a little better bitting, a little better pins. Stick around, next video we'll pick it open again, because I don't want to have to just sit here for 15 minutes, and I think YouTube limits me to a 15-minute video. But either way, take care, thanks for watching, and support your local locksmith, and thanks to all my subscribers who subscribed recently and the ones before that come out to watch me ramble on. Take care, bye-bye.